El Salvador is gearing up for presidential elections that will take place on Sunday, February 4th. The country's president, Nayib Bukele, who once described himself as the world's coolest dictator, appears poised for re-election to another 5-year term, despite the constitutional bar on immediate re-election. Bukele of the Nuevas Ideas party is facing off with Manuel Chino Flores for the left-wing Farabundo Martí National Liberation Front, or FMLN, which ran the country for 10 years prior to Bukele, and the right-wing Arena candidate, businessman Joel Flores. Bukele's controversial policies have transformed El Salvador over the last 5 years. Bukele's sweeping crackdown on crime, which some critics say has come at the expense of democracy, has turned El Salvador into a nation with one of the lowest homicide rates in the Americas. It was recently considered one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Yet constitutional rights have been put on hold under Bukele. Security forces can make arrests based on anonymous tips, detainees can be held indefinitely without charge in El Salvador's massive, recently constructed prisons, and the government can monitor private communications freely. Thousands of innocent people have been wrongfully detained in Bukele's sweeps, human rights groups say. Most have little recourse out of the system. They can be denied access to lawyers and refused their right of due process. El Salvador's voters are in an interesting predicament, weighing their civil liberties against their safety. They can take anyone at any time and do whatever they want, a teacher who declined to give her name for fear of reprisals said. "This is not democracy," she said. Still, the teacher said she planned to vote for Bukele. A January 2024 poll from the University of Central America's Public Opinion Institute showed 82% of voters supporting Bukele. At just 4% in polls, the next closest candidate is Mr. Flores. Bitcoin became legal tender under Bukele's administration, but extreme poverty and hunger rose along with state debt. Health, education, and the economy are also topics on the minds of El Salvador's voters ahead of Sunday's election, where the direction of the country and its constitutional climate will be decided.